sometimes you can feel a connection without sex. Because I can feel a connection with somebody and I haven't even had sex with them. Because that's what makes me want to be intimate with them. Because I'm not a jump into the bed with kind of person. Okay. I have to feel like I have something going with you to even want to get to that part. So it's not always about sex that brings on the connection. Sometimes it's like there's something about him that, I like to be around. I like his company. I like to be under him, because I like to be under him. It's just something about him that at this age, I know there are other reasons to get married for younger ages, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about at this age. I want to enjoy rocking, sit on the porch rocking. We're just not even talking about anything. It's just the company of him, being buried beside him. There are things that I want that's outside of the other stuff. That was all I had to say about that.
All right, you want to shut it down, Shan?
Oh, look at mistaken, shutting it down. Just when we were talking about connection, something
oh, okay. Well, go ahead and connect with your bad self.
I don't know what a connection is, and I'm just.
It took Baron a little while to wake up a little bit. He wasn't comfortable with it at first.
Yeah, no,
I said it took Baron a little bit to connect with us.
I think that was my fault. I was like over talking and jumping in.
Do you think men, when women are talking about connection, do men experience connection? I know they might not experience the same way women do, but do, like Marcus, like when Shan say, I just need that connection. As a man, do you understand what she means by that?
Well, I'm a thing called a vibe. So yeah, but I could understand how somebody could not understand what they mean, because some people what is the word? Is it emotional intelligence? I'll use emotional intelligence. If you don't
I think that's what it
is. It's hard for you to understand the nuances to communication and the nuances to reading a room or the nuances to interacting with somebody, and you can feel something is fine when it's not. So there are people who will come in and destroy a mood because they can't read the room. And I think like naturally those, what I'm saying, that type of vibe when you interact with somebody you like, it occurs. But if you don't have the ability to recognize that or live in that, then you will have a disconnect.
Michelle, I understand what the connection. I understand what connection is. Why I asked that because Mistaken was like, okay, now she kind of said something that made me think maybe it was like something that you like is paramount in your dating, like it's the number one thing that you look for.
It is the number one thing.
Oh, okay. That's why I was like, okay, because I was
let me tell you why. Because for me, I enjoy space. I think I mentioned it before. It was a different panel. I don't mind having a different part of the house, and you said, and we come together when we need to. I enjoy that space. Mm-hmm. So when I meet somebody who makes me want to get rid of that space, even just for a little bit, because I know it's going to come back, but I just want to be around him. Like I enjoy being, whether it be a friend or whatever. I gotta want to be. I gotta want you in my space. And I will hope you will want me in your space. It's not like a roommate. You get rid of roommates. This is I really like I enjoy coming home. I know people, not my friends, because they all love their husbands. I know women who really get mad when their husbands are home. Like, oh, he at home. I don't feel like going. Like it's women like that. And I just don't want that situation. I look at Mistaken because I've known her for a decent amount of time. And there's this thing she has with her husband. She gets so excited. Even after 20 years, she gets so excited about being around him. She gets like the same excitement you get like in the beginning, like maybe not that to the extent, but she still wants to be around her husband. She enjoys his company. He's like her best friend. And that's the connection in which I'm speaking of.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
So Shan, you see Lamar said, can you sustain the connection?
I would try. What a connect. Oh, absolutely. I think those are the ones you can. you like being around, you genuinely like being around a person, and that's what I'm saying, because we can fall out. You can fall out with people that you genuinely like, but that doesn't mean you don't want to be around them anymore. It just means I'm mad at you right now. I want to do things for you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's people that you can be around and they do something bad and you be like, I ain't gotta talk to this person ever in my life again. Bye. But it's some people you like, you know what? I genuinely love our what we have, and I want to go back. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, those are the ones to me that are most sustainable. Like, when you have a connection.
Yeah, I do think
it's hard to walk away from that.
I do think connection is very, very important, but I also think that you can build connection even though you may not like how what you were saying, connection is the number one thing for me. I think in the very beginning, that's the hard part, is that you don't know if it's connection or lust. And when I go back and I look at initially when my husband and I first met, I honestly believe that it was lust. Like, there was I would say it was a connection, but it was also an attraction. And I think initially the attraction outweighed the connection. I'm saying for me, I'm not saying for you. For me, I would say that it was the attraction that outweighed the connection. But the more time we spent with each other, the connection grew. And so that's why I was saying that sometimes you may check people off your list because it may not be that immediate connection, but the more time you spend with that person and get to know them, that connection could potentially develop. That's all. Look at your face.
Look, you know me. I've tried to be 2 years. Like, you don't want to. What you don't want to do too
is waste anybody's time.
I agree. Like, this guy is a great catch, and I'm sitting here wasting his time, and it never comes. And that's not fair to him. I would never want to waste your time. So yeah. I know how it goes. I know some people can fall in love. I ain't one of them. Like, I'm not one of them people who can. If we're around each other, I'm on.
What about you and Nice? Do you need the connection first, or do you feel like you can build a connection?
I think both is extreme, right? I think there needs to be something there that you can build on, and like to be able to see the willingness to continue to build it, right? Because it's a two-person thing. So I don't need that level of intensity off jump, but it's something that like is going to be is important to me later on. But I'm willing.
Well, I'm not talking about passion and
no.
Okay, just making sure.
No, I hear you. We are on the same page. Like, that level of connection. We talked about like the Notebook, right? Like, that level of like that bond, that like this is your person forever through and through, regardless of the situation, right? Like, that level of connection. I know some people are really lucky and they have that off jump and it works out great. And some people never have that. But for me, I think looking at things realistically, it's got to be a build for me. Like, it's got to be a build, because if it happens too quickly, to be honest, I think in this world, it can feel like love bombing a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. So like, we don't even really know each other like that. So I think the slow burn is something that I look for.
No, I agree with that. It has to be slow. You have to get to know that person. Obviously, physical attraction is the first thing that reels you in. The reason why I had to make sure we knew that it wasn't physical attraction, I have had connections with people who I don't find it to be physically attractive. So, that was only one person though. But because connections are hard, they're not easy to find. Like, it's gonna be easier just to do the whole duty thing. Because there's a lot of people you can do duty to. You know what I'm saying? You get a good guy. Oh, he's great. He's got a great job. Da-da-da-da. But I wanted to show, because we're going to say, this may be the conversation for next week. Because I saw a TikTok that men with money are the men who are the most cheated on. Mm-hmm. You saw that? We need to talk about that. And that's duty. Mm-hmm. Duty, somebody else is getting the booty, okay? She owns you the man that she loves while she is being dutiful to you. So I'm just saying, Just throwing it out there.